no, I'm lying. I'm 100% lying. Yeah, I'm very excited, and I high-key forgot what I bought. I'm amazing. Hi, welcome back, or nice to meet you. I'm the Bookish Belle, but you can call me Jessie. So I look crazy right now because I was fully ready for bed. It's 7:30 p.m., but at work today, my job is putting on like a sports summer camp for a bunch of kids. So I got to chase a bunch of 4 and 5-year-olds with basketballs around today. So I'm like fully showered, fully ready for bed. I had my bonnet on. I was in my pajamas. I still kind of am, but then my sister said she was leaving, and I figured I should probably film something while no one's in the house, because I don't know, I feel weird about filming when I know people can hear me. So yeah, I went on vacation a week or two ago to the beach, and my whole family went to Hilton Head, and there was a Barnes & Noble next to where we were staying, so I had to go there. And I picked up 4 books while I was on vacation, and then Book Outlet was having a sale where like a bunch of their fiction books were $5.99. So I also did partake in that, and I thought I'd do a little haul of all the books that I got when I was in Hilton Head. Almost all of these are some sort of like horror, thriller, spooky something. There's one that's not, so I guess I'll start off with that one. I got Old Man's War. I think it's here, Starter Villain. I read Starter Villain and I really liked it, so I was just kind of looking at other books that he's written, and I decided to pick this one up. And I'm really bad at trying to summarize books that I haven't read yet, so I'm just going to read you the back. John Perry did 2 things on his 75th birthday. First, he visited his wife's grave, then he joined the army. The good news is that humanity finally made it to the stars. The bad news is that out there, planets fit to live on are scarce, and alien races willing to fight us for them are common. So, we fight. Far from Earth, the war has been going on for decades. Brutal, bloody, unyielding. Responsible for protecting humanity, the Colonial Defense Forces doesn't want young people. They want people who carry the knowledge and skills of decades of living. You'll be taken off Earth, never to return. You'll serve 2 years in combat, and if you survive, you'll be given a homestead of your own on a hard-won planet light years from home. John Perry is taking that deal. He thinks he knows what to expect, but the actual fight is far, far harder than he can imagine. And what he will become is far stranger. Yeah, I've been getting more into sci-fi recently, sci-fi book, plus I already like this author, so I figured why not? Next up is Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. I feel like this book was popular a couple years ago, and I, like most books, missed out on the trend. They call them wayward girls, loose girls who grew up too fast, and they're sent to the Wellwood House in St. Augustine, Florida, where unwed mothers are hidden by their families to have their babies in secret, to give them up for adoption, and most important of all, to forget any of it ever happened. 15-year-old Fern arrives at the home in the sweltering summer of 1970, pregnant, frightened, and alone. Under the watchful eye of the stern Miss Wellwood, she meets a dozen other girls in the same predicament. There's Rose, a hippie who insists she's going to find a way to keep her baby and escape to a commune, and Zinnia, a budding musician who plans to marry her baby's father, and Holly, a wisp of a girl barely 14, mute and pregnant by no one knows who. Everything the girls eat, every moment of their waking day, and everything they're allowed to talk about is strictly controlled by the adults who claim they know what's best for them. Then Fern meets a librarian who gives her an occult book about witchcraft, and power is in the hands of the girls for the first time in their lives. But power can destroy as easily as it creates, and it's never given freely. There's always a price to be paid, and it's usually paid in blood. Like, I don't even know how to put it into words, but this just sounds exactly like a book I'm going to like, so I'm hoping I'm not disappointed, but I feel like this one has pretty high ratings. Now, these next 2 I have already read. I bought them on vacation and then read them immediately on vacation. So first up, we have Strained Pictures. I'm not going to tell you what I thought about the books that I've read already. I kind of want to film like a books I read on vacation kind of video, but anyway. A pregnant woman's sketches on a seemingly innocuous blog conceal a chilling warning. A child's picture of his home contains a dark secret message. A sketch made by a murder victim in his final moments leads an amateur sleuth down a rabbit hole that will reveal a horrifying reality. Structured around 9 childlike drawings, everyone holding a disturbing clue, this novel invites readers to piece together the harrowing truth behind each and the overarching backstory that connects them all. It's so hot in my room. I forget how hot my room gets during the summer, and I have to turn my fan off for filming. Yeah, this one was a fun one. I'm trying not to give away too much of what I thought or too much of like what happened, but I do not regret picking this book up. So we'll leave it at that. The last of the Barnes & Noble books is What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. There's not really a synopsis of this one. Like, it just kind of has, like, a excerpt from the book. It's, like, based on The Fall of the House of Usher by Edgar Allan Poe. So, my book outlet package got here literally today. It got here a couple hours ago. Yeah, I'm very excited, and I high-key forgot what I bought, so we're gonna go through this together. But I do have 6 books from Book Outlet, so. First one is Best Offer Wins by Marissa Cashino. An insanely competitive housing market, a desperate buyer on the edge. How far would you go for the house of your dreams? 18 months and 11 lost bidding wars into house hunting in the overheated Washington, D.C. suburbs, 37-year-old publicist Margot Miyake takes a tip about the perfect house in the perfect neighborhood, slated to come up for sale in 1 month. Desperate to escape the cramped apartment she shares with her husband Ian, and in turn get their marriage, plan to have a baby, and whole life back on track, Margot becomes obsessed with buying the house before it's publicly listed and the masses descend, with unbeatable all-cash offers in hand. A little stalking, harmless. A bit of trespassing, necessary. As Margot infiltrates the homeowners' lives, her tactics grow increasingly unhinged. But just when she thinks she's won them over, she hits a snag in her plan. Undeterred, Margot will prove again and again that there's no boundary she won't cross to seize the dream life she's been chasing. The most unsettling part? You'll root for her, even as you gasp in disbelief. Dark, biting, and laugh-out-loud funny, Best Offer Wins is a propulsive debut and a razor-sharp exploration of class, ambition, and the modern housing crisis. Yeah, I don't know, it sounded fun, and it was $5.99, so. Next up is The Island of Last Things by Emma Slowly. I keep wanting to say Island of Lost Things. It's last. Island of Last Things. Camille has always preferred animals to people. The wild has nearly disappeared, but as a zookeeper at the last zoo in the world, on Alcatraz Island, she spends her days caring for playful chimpanzees, gentle tree frogs, and a restless jaguar. Outside, resistance groups fight to shape the world's future, but Camille is safe within her routines. That is, until new zookeeper Sailor arrives. From their first meeting, Camille is drawn to Sailor, who seems to see something in Camille that no one has before. They bond over their shared passions and dream up ways to improve their lives. When Sailor whispers the story of an idyllic secret sanctuary where wild animals roam free, Camille begins to imagine a new kind of life with Sailor by her side. Sailor knows all too well the dangers beyond Alcatraz, but she increasingly chafes at the zoo's rigid rules. She hatches a reckless plan to smuggle one of the most prized animals off the island to freedom and invites Camille to join her. The consequences, if they fail, would be catastrophic, and Camille must decide if she's ready to risk everything for the promise of a better world. Propulsive and fiercely hopeful, with a heart-stopping final twist, The Island of Last Things is an elegy for a disappearing world and a gorgeous vision for the future. Final twist. Intriguing. This is Moth Eater by Linda H. Kodega. I vaguely remember this being set in the Appalachian Mountains. Yeah, in a startling and nuanced queer fantasy set amid the beauty of the Appalachian Mountains, the last witch of the ridge and a newcomer investigating the coal industry must choose sides in a clash between nature and development that's been over 100 years coming. After her best friend died in the coal mine that employs half of Curon, Virginia, Benethia Maddox sacrificed her job, her relationship, and her reputation trying to uncover what's killing miners on Kyer Mountain. When she finds a half-drowned white woman in the dirty mine slough? I don't know. Benny takes her in because it's right, but she also hopes this odd magnetic stranger can lead her to the proof she needs. Instead, she brings more questions. The woman called Moth Eater can't remember her true name, nor how she ended up inside the mountain. She knows only that she's a witch of Appalachia, born to Tor and Holler, Possum and Snake, with power in her hands and scripture on her tongue. But the mystery of her fate, her doomed quest to keep industry off Kyer, and the promises she bent and broke have followed her a century and a half into the future. And now, the choices Moth Eater and Benny make together could change the face of Kyer itself. I feel like there was 8 words that I mispronounced in that synopsis, but I'm too tired to deal with that, so. But yeah, I'm very excited for this one. This one, I don't know, I don't want to say I'm most excited for this one, because I'm excited for all of them, but I don't know, this one is particularly intriguing to me. Next one is The Trees Grew Because I Bled There by Eric LaRocca. Okay, 8 stories of dark fiction from a master storyteller. Exploring the shadow side of love, these are tales of grief, obsession, control. Intricate examinations of trauma and tragedy in raw, poetic prose. A woman imagines horrific scenarios whilst caring for her infant niece. Online posts chronicle cancer diagnosis. A couple in the park with their small child encounter a stranger with horrific consequences. A toxic relationship reaches a terrifying resolution. Oh, this is the same person that wrote Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke. I haven't read that, but I've been meaning to for a really long time. This on the front says, like, body horror in the stories. I don't know that I've read that much body horror. No, I'm lying. I'm 100% lying. Oh, what are they called? The Christopher Triana books. Gone to See the Riverman and Along the River of Flesh. Those are both body horror. I'm lying to you. Yeah, I thought this might be fun to pick up, like, if I'm trying to get out of a slump and I just want to read something, like, real quick. I thought a little short story might be kind of fun. Okay, 2 more. This one is The Unworthy by Augustina Batsterica. Definitely pronounced that wrong. I've read Tender as the Flesh by this author. Oh, there's a Target sticker on here. I hate the Target stickers. They never come off. Oh, I'm gonna regret this. Oh, please don't be sticky. Please don't be sticky. Please don't be sticky. Please don't be sticky. Guys, I did it. And there's, like, no residue. Guys, I'm amazing. Yeah, I read Tender as the Flesh by this author, and I really liked the concept of that book. The ending just kind of fell a little flat for me. But I still want to give this author another chance. So, from her cell in a mysterious convent, cloistered away from the climate catastrophe that has plunged the world into chaos, a woman writes the story of her life in whatever she can find, discarded ink, dirt, and even her own blood. A lower member of the sacred sisterhood, deemed an unworthy, she dreams of ascending to the ranks of the enlightened at the center of the convent, and of pleasing the forbidding superior sister. But when a strange newcomer joins the ranks of the unworthy, the narrator is forced to consider her long-buried past. As she grows closer to the newcomer, she is increasingly haunted by questions that she can no longer ignore. How did she get to the sacred sisterhood? Why can't she remember her life before? And what really happens when a woman is chosen to be enlightened? This might be the one that I'm most excited for. I'm gonna say that about every book. Like, are you kidding me? I hope it's good, because that synopsis is exactly something I would like. Like, weird dystopian religious stuff, like end of the world. I don't know. I really hope I like this one. Oh, I really hope I like it. Last one is Sacrificial Animals by Kaylee Peterson. The last thing Nick Morrow expected to receive was an invitation from his father to return home. When he left rural Nebraska behind, he believed he was leaving everything, including his abusive father, Carlisle, and the farm that loomed so large in memory, there forever. But neither Nick nor his brother Joshua, disowned for marrying Amelia, a woman of Asian descent, can ignore such a summons from their father, who hopes for a deathbed reconciliation. Predictably, Joshua and Carlisle quickly warm to each other while Nick and Amelia are left to their own devices. Nick puts the time to good use, and his flirtation with Amelia blooms into romance. Though not long after the affair turns intimate, Nick begins to suspect that Amelia's interest in him may have sinister and possibly even ancient motivations. Punctuated by scenes from Nick's adolescent years, when memories of a queer awakening and a shadowy presence stalking the farm altered the trajectory of his life forever, Sacrificial Animals explores the violent legacy of inherited trauma and the total collapse of a family in its wake. Very excited for this one. I don't love the affair. Like, I don't know. I'm very interested in, like, the spiritual aspects of the book. That's all the books I have. Let's see if I can get them all over here. I feel like a lot of these had the same tropes, especially the ones that I bought from Book Outlet. I feel like I just bought a bunch of the same book over and over again. But hey, I know what I like. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. A lot of these books are ones that I've never heard of. Maybe I'm not on Book Talk, so maybe some of you have heard it. Yeah, I'm trying to get away from just buying all the popular books from, like, YouTube and Book Talk and stuff, and, like, going out and, like, trying to find books that I think I'm going to enjoy, because I've fallen into the Book Talk trap before, and now I own multiple books and series that I do not enjoy or know that I'm not going to enjoy. But yeah, I'm genuinely excited for all of these, so if there's a specific one you guys want to see me read, let me know. But other than that, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. You do kind of have to subscribe because we are best friends, so I don't make the rules, I'm sorry. But I think that's all I have for you, so love you, bye.